Hey guys, welcome to our today's session. As said, today's session is all about birds in flight settings, and the camera that I'll be using is a Nikon D500, and we are waiting for some more people to join. And let me invite some of my friends in this session. You can see the camera settings which are going good. Okay, so I hope I'm audible to everybody. You can message me or can tell me with some signature, maybe a thumbs up button or a like or something, and you can tell me that yes, I'm audible to you. Am I? So there's no response coming. I'm unable to see. So are we audible? Done. Good to know. So this is the machine that we are using. Welcome Anubhavji, and I'm trying to add you up as well. Just hold on. Send me a request Anubhavji, and I'll be adding you to the live video. Send me a request please. I repeat again. I'm trying to add you. Okay. Thank you. Once you send me a request, I'll accept it up. So you'll be joining up. So before that, we talk about the basic machine. Meanwhile, some more people will be joining. What settings I'm using, right? So this is the D500, typically with a battery grip. So, and of course, these are the settings which are there on the screen. So to start with, I'm basically a manual shooter. As you can see, my camera is majority on M. And this is for the people who know that, yes, I'm keeping it at f7.1. That's the aperture. This section is the shutter speed, and this is approximately the auto ISO, which I'm keeping it maximum to 6400, right? So that's a very high, and the camera is being kept on AFC, that is continuous mode. White balance is kept as auto. To save the space, I've already kept it as JPEG Fine Plus. So we'll talk about the settings in just a few minutes. So basically, if you talk about D500, now this is working with a combination of 200-500, right? So it's a very, very decent camera, and I had been successfully doing lots and lots of photos and videos with the same camera, right? So, okay, so no worries, sir. So I have been successfully able to do some kind of shots and all. So whatever the queries or questions you have, you just write down in the comment section, and we'll definitely try to answer it up. Maybe even after the session, or maybe while during the session. So this is the machine that we are using right now, right? So what settings I'm using, let's discuss it one by one. So we switch on the camera, basically first part. Now there are 3-4 modes to change the settings. This video will be typically good for people who are using Nikon setup. The setup might be similar. So as you can see, there's the small button, right, from where we are doing this manual focus and autofocus. So this is the option wherein, you know, the lens is now on manual focus. This is the lens is on autofocus. So while making a video or doing something, you know, I'll definitely try to keep it on M, because Nikon has a tendency to do the back and forth kind of a moment, which I don't like, right? So that's the issue with the camera. So this is the button. Along with this, this is the button which you can press, right? You can press it up, and this will perform certain functions, which I'll be discussing in this short video one by one. Now this is a small key from where we are changing the modes of the camera. Single, continuous low, CH is continuous high, right? So once I'm planning to do a bird in flight photography, right? So what are the key parameters I'm looking at? Number one, my shutter speed should be high, depending on the size of the bird. Let's say if a bird is of a bigger size, maybe a raptor or something, I'm more than happy to keep it at around 1,000, maybe 1250, that should work. Even I'll try to reduce the aperture. So this is the dial I'm using to reduce the apertures. This is I'm using for the shutter speed, right? So you can see the thumb movement is creating a difference, and the finger movement is again creating a difference, right? So sorry for the disturbance, there are some background sounds coming. So this is how I'm managing with just 2 dials. Now we have talked about this button. So what exactly this button is doing? So we'll press this, and I'll show you if you can see on my screen. So let me try. Much visible. So this is in GRP, which is group focus. Now you see I'll change the mode with the thumb. AFS, AFC. Can you see this mode is changing? So S is basically for single, and this is for continuous. AF continuous, right? Majorly fast shot of what? We'll definitely answer the question, so don't worry. So this is autofocus, this is single point, D25, 25 point, 72 point, 153 point, and of course it's a 3D tracking, right? And it's a group focus. So I, as a person, is more happy to keep the camera on group focus. Now you see how I change the mode. This is very simple. So I just kept this button pressed, and I'm just changing the front dial. See, this is going, which is below the on-off button, and it is changing my focus areas, right? So this is one setting. Now how to do some other custom settings, because you know things might get different and difficult once you are there on the field. So let us take down to the menu option. Now this is my favorite part, right? So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So first the thing is key, okay, so I know most of the people are there, so just press the menu button, right? They'll be coming down to the part which says autofocus, the pencil icon settings. Before that, so these are all, so I'm very much sure people must be well aware how to select these. So but just by changing this direction left right, you can select the menus what you're looking for. So let's say we come down to the first option. Why I'm here? Because here I'm coming up for multiple option which says primary card slot selection as XQD, right? This is the option that I'm looking forward for. Now if you are a person who is shooting at we'll definitely answer. When you say a shot is being missed, do you miss out on tracking of the bird in flight? Definitely the answer could be yes or no. Shot missed means manual focus or autofocus. Exactly, I'll be coming up again. So let us continue first with this part. Primary slot I have selected as XQD card. Now why XQD card? Actually, if you go through my camera, so I have already purchased an XQD card. So this is the Sony XQD I'm using. So you can see the read and write speed. It's already says like read at 440 and write at 400. So it's a pretty fast card, which is much happier for me. So I'm much happy with this card, number one. And this is my standard MMC. So this is again 64 GB with 95 MB per second. So this becomes my secondary card. So the reason why I have this option is because I'm looking for more towards videos and all. So, and of course birds in flight. So primary I will select as XQD. Secondary slot function, so this is something which you can definitely select as per the need. Whether you want raw primary or a JPEG secondary or a backup or an overflow, I simply selected to keep it on overflow, right? So this is one part. Now we'll come down again, we'll go down image quality. This I'll be honest with you, the camera is having no trouble even if you are keeping at NEF RAW plus JPEG fine, since you are using an XQD card in this machine, right? So you can definitely keep it up, not an issue. But if you are looking to save some memory and to gain more speed, try the JPEG fine plus. If you're not looking for a print option or just clicking a picture and shooting on and posting it on social networks, image fine is good to go. However, if you're looking for prints and you want to capture more details and you do a post-processing kind of a thing, the mode that I would recommend and suggest is a JPEG fine along with NEF RAW. So this is the mode. This will definitely put more pressure on the card. I'll show you how it happens. Look at the screen. So once I select, so this mode changes, right? And I'll show you how much images, 771 images are left, right? Now if I change the mode again in the menu, so 2.5K. So you can easily understand how much detail the camera is trying to capture, right? So JPEG plus RAW is a very good option if you are looking for doing the post-processing part. Image size, of course, as I said, you go for the highest possible. I hope my screen is visible to everyone, right? So they are not causing any light or anything or any other. Couldn't get why you need to change the secondary slot. Okay, why do we need to change the secondary slot? Let's answer this question again. We'll repeat it. Secondary slot function. So basically you have two cards in the camera. One is a XQD card, which is a high-speed card, and one is a standard memory card. Right now, D500 as a machine can perform in such a way that either you can use it in overflow option. What is overflow option? Let's say your XQD card gets full. Now the camera will start capturing the data on the memory card, right? So that is overflow function, irrespective of whatever the formats you have selected. Backup function. Now backup is the thing wherein the camera is actually taking the primary shot on XQD and is keeping a backup in the memory card, right? RAW plus JPEG secondary. Now this is again an option wherein you can have two options to store primary images for RAW in XQD card, and the JPEG will be stored in the memory card. I usually keep it at overflow, so that's up to an individual's preference, right? Now I'm coming down to some important part. Let's get down to the ISO sensitivity setting. One of my very favorite topic. I speak a lot about this, which is ISO. So ISO, what settings I'm keeping at is, ISO, I'm keeping it at low 1, which is on the lower side. Auto ISO sensitivity, I'm keeping it on auto, because since we are talking about birds in flight or something like that, so we are not sure what type of light it is going to be there in the background, what type of light would be there on the belly part, what type of light would be there on the side parts, etc. So keep it at, why not only RAW for post-processing? Absolutely fine. RAW you can keep it definitely for post-processing. And yes, as I said, if you are more into post-processing and adding up of colors and doing, taking out some details, increasing the shadows, etc., RAW is a very good option. You'll get lots and lots of details. So maximum sensitivity, if you talk about, so I usually prefer it at 6400. That as per you can, take it up to maximum level. This camera is very much supportive, but then grainy images would be there. So I recommend you keep it at a comfortable level, which is 6400 for me, right? White balance, I'm keeping it at auto. Now we are coming down to set. You can use JPEG to filter these images. Absolutely yes. Set pictures control to vivid. Now why I'm using this vivid option? Because once you are shooting a bird in a high speed or a higher shutter, definitely you are losing some colors. Now in order to compensate with the color part, you just keep the images on the vivid side. Now one more thing, press this button again after selecting vivid. So this is the set picture control menu. Vivid, I have taken it up. Standard is also good. And if you are into post-processing and something, I would recommend you go for standard or a flat, right? So that is a better option. If you are just using JPEG, fine, use vivid. There is a speed difference in XQD and a normal memory card. If you select the camera to create backup, it will impact the speed of the card. Absolutely yes. So regarding the color settings, yes, I'm keeping it at vivid. Now again press this dial button and go to this section which says quick adjust. Depending on the type of images are you looking at, so you can keep the images, you can increase the sharpness. Basically now this is some sort of setting we are trying to do like a post-processing activity inside the camera itself, right? So we can keep it at auto. I usually keep it at auto. Trust me, D500 is a really good machine when it comes to creation of images. Or maybe if you are comfortable, so you can just keep it at a slightly higher level, maybe at 0.6 or 0.7. That would be great. I would recommend it to keep it at auto. Clarity also you should keep it at auto. Contrast also you should keep it at auto only. Brightness, leave it. saturation. I'll help you out how to compensate these brightnesses and everything. Now to save this setting, press the OK button here and you are going to save the settings now. Coming to the menu again. What type of color space are you looking at? So I'm typically doing the sRGB mode, right? So this is one of my favorite modes. Active delighting, I have kept it at auto. This is something which I have recently learned. Active delighting is an important feature and it will definitely help you to, get good images. Long exposure NR, I'm keeping it at on. Since I'm shooting at a higher ISO level, my ISOs are kept at high, right? Then again, auto distortion control, yes, again keeping it at high, right? Since I'm not doing this kind of a thing I don't need any multiple exposure or things like that, so we'll leave this setting. Now we'll come down to, now we'll leave the video movie setting, and since we are talking only for birds in flight and something, so let's talk about the custom settings menu. Now this is a very, very crucial part. I believe you must be having lots and lots of questions regarding this, so I'll be ready to answer them up now. So we come down to first, this is the A1 setting, the A1 AFC priority selection. So what selections I have taken it as? So I have taken it as focus. Now once the camera is on focus mode, the subject is in focus, then only the camera will try to click a shutter, else it will not, right? Release plus focus, again focus plus release, etc. is there. So rather than to get a shot which is not in focus, I'll definitely not prefer it up. Since I'm keeping the camera in AFC mode, you can see here. So AFC, I have kept this setting. Even on single, I'm keeping the same thing. Focus tracking with lock on. Now this is a really, really important feature. Most of the people have not been covering this topic. I know many of you must have heard about this. Focus tracking with lock on. What is this? Keep it at quick. Let's say you are trying to capture a bird, and let's imagine a situation. Okay, so let me give it a try. So let's say a bird is flying, and see, my hand is going there. You can see now the camera is not trying to focus my hand, and it is focusing on the display of my D500. So let's say a bird is in flight and it passes a tree, right? Now the camera will try to focus a tree and it will try to lose the focus on the bird, but we want a bird with a flight shot, so definitely try to keep it on a quick focus mode, right? So what will happen as soon as you start moving the camera, panning this action, so the bird will be in focus, right? The more option you keep it as delayed, the more options are that you are going to lose it. Since we are not sure about the type of motion, I'll keep it at erratic. I'll not keep it at steady, and I'll not keep it at because they have their own tendency to behave at times, which is unpredictable, right? Now number of focus points, of course you keep it at 55. That's good to go. I'll come down to the metering and exposure. Again, not much things have been changed, right? Controls and custom control assignment. Now this is the section which is really, really important, right? With D500, everything is programmable. You can see, I told you in the beginning. So let's say I'll give you an option how to, okay. So option number 1. So let me keep a book or something in the background to lift the camera a bit. This should work, I guess. I hope you can see my display of the camera, right? So there it is. Now keep a watch on this section. Currently my hand is here, right? I'm trying to click. Will the camera click now? See, I'm pressing it up, nothing is happening. Reason, the subject is not coming in focus. That's the reason we have changed that setting, right? It is not going to click, it is not going to shoot anything unless the subject is in focus. Now we'll try to remove the shutter cap. We'll try to do some test shots. Subject is there, and we'll try to press the button. See, it's not clicking. Now I do some manual focus, and I'm just moving the ring manually. No, nothing is happening. See, Once it takes the focus, see, you can see the camera started taking some shots once the subject was in focus. So this is one trick that I do, is I keep my thumb on this and I do the manual focus, right? So it's a very, very easy shot, right? Now again, how to change these settings? As I said, press the button, change it to AF continuous, use this to keep it at group focus. Now at times you are looking forward to keep it at single point autofocus system. Sorry, there was a call. So how to do it on a single point autofocus system? Okay, just hold on. Let me lock my focus. Okay, one thing is press the button which I mentioned and change it up. Second option, press the AF button. Now see what is happening on the screen. This is group autofocus. I press the AF button and it is coming to this point, right? Now how this setting is being done, see how quick it is. You can even listen to the beep, right? So how I have programmed this, now we are talking about the programming part of these functions in the camera. Open up the menu again, go to the control settings, go to the custom control assignments. I hope I'm very much visible to you. This is the part which says AF on, right? So now this button is getting programmed, AF plus A. So this is AF area mode plus AF on, switch on, and I keep it at single point autofocus. Now what this option is doing, once I press this AF button, it is quickly shifting it from group to single point autofocus, right? You can see that on the screen it is happening just by press of a button. I need group autofocus, I'll simply press the joystick button. Now I press the joystick button, see nothing is changing because it is already there on group autofocus by default. How to do these kind of settings? Press the menu button, go to the control section, custom control assignments, one part is done, select single point autofocus. Right now again come down to the sub point selector, same as multi selector or focus point selection, right? So I choose this option which says focus point selection. Right now again I'm coming down to the joystick only, AF area mode. Now see, it could be at a different setting on your camera, but I recommend keep it at AF area mode and keep it at group autofocus. You can keep it at auto, you can keep it at dynamic. So let's try, let's do a small test right now. I keep it at 153. Right now see what will happen if I press the joystick. See the option. So maybe I'll try to take you inside the camera only to give you a live. So this is how you are, changing all the settings. So I again keep it at group autofocus. Yeah, that's good for me. Now if you say you are trying to shoot a bird and you are getting colors which are too dark, now that's the trick how you do it. Press this button, increase the exposure to +7, maybe 1.0 depending on the light that you have, right? Take it on a high key note. If the light is too strong, take it on a low key note, because you will not get time to play around with shutters and play around with apertures, and because this is a very, very tedious task. So compensate it by playing just with the exposure part. Put in live view. Okay, we'll try. See, I press this button and I press this, wait, hold on. Nope, it's not working. I'm trying, it's not going. I guess I'm too close to something. No, not working. But in the viewfinder, the information is coming up. I'll show you. I'll definitely try to show you. So let's go inside the viewfinder. So if it is visible, see, it is on group focus, you can see, right? If I press the AF button, it is coming to single point autofocus. Now see, it is in group focus. Now once I press the AF button, it is coming to single point. Very easy. Now let's say a bird is sitting there, I want to do a single point autofocus, I'll simply press the AF button and we'll press the shutter button. So this is how it is working, right? It is in group focus by default right now. Want to change the focus, I'll definitely play with my joystick and will try to shift the focus points left, right, up, down, wherever I want to. Pretty much simple. One thing. Second, what about the WB, the white balance? So as I said, I generally keep it on auto. You can see it says auto. You can select it as per your need, as per the lighting condition, but Nikon's auto system is pretty much comfortable to work with, so I keep it at auto. Continuous high is again one of the things that I do. Having said that, most of the settings that you would require are almost done, right? So custom control is one thing that I wanted to do. It's a very, very, very good option to go for. And of course, you start playing with the exposure part, and of course the auto ISOs, and of course the shutter, right? So handheld, if you are keeping the camera, definitely keep it maybe a 2 point up, and shutter speed could be like 2000 or something, with auto ISO like 6400 and something. XUD card is there, auto daylight is there. Now we are again coming to the point focus. So as I said, you can change this to spot metering and matrix, evaluator metering, etc, 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 just by press of a button. Or you can do this option also. So press this button and do the changing part. See, it is changing. Very simple. See, it is coming to matrix now. So I'm trying spot metering again. Good to go. So if you have any suggestions, or if you have any other style, which can help us improve our photography technique, we are more than happy to welcome you, and definitely we can plan up a session from your end as well. So it's there. So this is the recorded image, like you can see it's there. So maybe some images that I took also. Let's see so this is a single spot, you can see, and then this is again group autofocus, which I took right now. So this is again group and single. So just a click of a button, right? Now, okay, just hold on. Many people have been asking me, boss, should we go for AF fine tune kind of a thing? I would recommend keep it at off. I tried it up, but unfortunately I spoiled the settings. So I keep it at off. So for me, it works good. Regarding information display, keep it on auto, right? And that's most of the topics, has been covered now. So even if you are looking for some more suggestions or something, so let's come down with some questions and answer. We should use histogram to check if the exposure is good. Sir, exactly, you're right, but yes, depends on the type of image that we are getting. At times it might look like an overexposed image or something that can be taken care in post-processing as well. But yes, this is a really good suggestion. Histogram is something that, see, I've already kept it on. So like this, so it's already there. It is showcasing me all the details. This is just a sample image I took. So you can see how different histogram settings are working at different ISO levels. You can see the same bird at different ISO. So I know it's not accurate and not something like, but yeah, this was just a test image that I was trying. Right, so let's come down to let's observe some questions. Then everyone can see change in put it in live view. Okay. Anubhavji, I'll try to invite you again. Jivteshwarji, I'm trying to add you. Adding Jivteshwarji. So are you there in the live session? Are you there? Okay. So maybe we'll try negative. No. So then again we'll try to answer some questions. Sagarika ji, was my question answered? Was your question answered? Shot, a bird flash shot missing. Okay.
Hey.
Hi. Good evening. How are you?
All good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So this was just a small session. I'm trying to welcome you to my live session.
Hey, thanks for inviting, man.
And any experiences that you would like to share with our audiences right now who is watching us live?
Okay, I'm no expert on birds in flight, but I think you covered most of the things.
I
I
tried.
was just, yeah, no, you did well, man. I was just different on one point wherein
Yes.
you, your primary setting seems to be in group autofocus, whereas most of the shooting I do is on, single point focus and birds in flight is a secondary thing to me, and to
Exactly.
many people it
Exactly.
might be a secondary thing.
So
So in
I'll
my case, I keep so the function buttons in front is what I use for switching to group autofocus, and
perfectly fine.
so
Yep.
yeah, so that's one option. So it depends on what is your primary style and
So
what your
that's
secondary.
the reason I said we have kept this AF on button as a single point selector for me in my case. And once I
Yeah.
press the joystick inside, it is going to switch over to group autofocus again. If I don't press any of the button, the camera is by default on. You can see group.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's right.
that's a very
And
quick and easy way to do it.
yeah,
And how about yeah, please continue. You were saying something.
also the AF auto that AF fine tune points. I think many people have some misunderstanding on that. They think that it's something you can use to improve your AF, but that is basically for correcting lens errors. So
Exactly,
if
lens
the lens
errors.
has
Yep.
gone out of calibration, and if you're not able to get it calibrated from, let's say, a workshop, from a service center, then there are kits. You can buy these kits online for like 2,000, 3,000, using which you can calculate what is the, how by how many points your lens is, uncalibrated, or by how many points it is out. You calculate it and then you set it in the camera. So
Exactly.
typically for a good lens, it should be at 0, as Abhinav pointed out.
It should be at 0 typically for a good lens,
Yeah.
because I tried making some changes in the setting, and I was honestly speaking, I destroyed the settings, whatever it was. I was not able to get a clear shot. So then
Yeah, that's
again I
what.
said it was impossible for me to get birds in flight, and that was the reason I did it.
Yeah.
Right. So can you add somebody? I mean, Anubhavji in the, or maybe no, it's not there. Anubhavji was trying, but I don't know, unfortunately we were unable to join.
Yeah. One more thing, Abhinav, which you might maybe want to, which even I would
Please.
like to hear from you, is the choice of lens for birds in flight, because the focusing speed would vary with the different lenses, and that would
See,
play a
honestly
critical role.
speaking, so majority, this is a very, very tough question for many people out there. What I would recommend that, yes, since we are using a crop body, considering the 1.5x conversion, 200, 500 is good to go. Economic, if we are looking at the economic side. However, prime lenses are the preferred option in this case, for sure. Right, 500 f4 or maybe something which is of a good lens, so we should definitely go and look for that lens if you want some clarity and something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So again, this was a small session. Any other comments and queries you would like to ask? Mr. Yedu has also joined. Again, welcome Mr. Yedu Rajiv to our session. And many of our friends have been watching it up, right? So any questions anybody is having, or maybe somebody wants to contribute to something regarding what type of settings are we using in the camera or something, then you are more than happy to join me on the live session right now.
Yeah, let me vacate the space so that others can join and add
I
value.
guess no, it's not possible for many people to join. Maybe
Yeah,
we
so
should end the
I'll,
session, and if they are
yeah,
having any queries or questions, then definitely they can write up in the comment section and our experts can answer it up. After all, it's
all
our
right.
group.
Yeah,
Right. So it was pleasure talking to you, and thank you for joining us in our session. Thank you. Good night.
thanks. Good night. Bye.
Good night.